Okay, let's talk about the Dodgers. Their record looks great, right? 16-8, one of the best teams in baseball. Exactly where you'd expect them to be. But if you're a Dodgers fan, or really just following baseball closely, you know that picture isn't quite as perfect as the win-loss column suggests. Because right now, their starting pitching staff looks less like a powerhouse rotation and more like, well, an emergency room waiting list. We just talked about Blake Snell hitting a setback, but he's just the latest name on a list that includes guys like Tony Gonsolin, Clayton Kershaw, Emmett Sheehan, Gavin Stone. It's getting long. So long, in fact, that the Dodgers are already having to resort to bullpen games, using relievers to cover all 9 innings, like they had to do on Wednesday. That tells you just how short-handed they are on reliable starters right now. And this situation naturally brings up the $1 million, or maybe $100 million, question. Shohei Ohtani. We know he's not pitching this year to start, recovering from that major elbow surgery. But the expectation is he'll be back on the mound at some point this season. The latest reports suggest maybe around the All-Star break. But with the rotation in this kind of shape now, does that timeline need to be pushed up? This is where it gets uncomfortable for the Dodgers. There are 2 huge things they have to consider. First, Ohtani has to be 100% healthy. No exceptions. You absolutely cannot rush a guy coming off a major surgery, especially not a talent like him. Second, even when he is healthy, he's going to have a limited number of innings available this year. You're not going to run him out there every 5th day all season like normal. So, if your main goal is winning the World Series, which for the Dodgers it absolutely is, do you really want to use up those precious, limited Ohtani innings in May or June, when you could save them for high-leverage situations in September and October? The truth is, even with these injuries, the Dodgers are probably talented enough, especially with Ohtani raking as a hitter, to still make the playoffs. So, using Ohtani as a pitcher now feels like it would only make sense if the season started completely spiraling away from them. Which it isn't right now. They still have top guys like Yamamoto, Glasnow, May, and Sasaki healthy. They can patch together that 5th spot, even if it means bullpen games or cycling younger guys, rather than potentially burning out Ohtani's innings too early. So, as frustrating as it might be for fans to see the pitching staff stretched thin, the smart move, the patient move, is likely still waiting for Ohtani, unless things get drastically, unexpectedly worse on the injury front. Preserving Ohtani's arm for the games that matter most in October is probably the least uncomfortable decision they can make right now.